Conseguem visualizar aí?
You see my screen?
Sim, carregou.
Conseguimos.
Yes.
Então, antes de começar a marcar meu tempo, deixa eu só achar os botões aqui para mim
So
não
let me just find the buttons
passar
and the
aqui
controls, please.
Dois, beleza. Então,
Okay, looks good.
pode ir lá. Se quiser começar a marcar aí, eu tô
Okay, we can start.
pronto para iniciar.
I'm ready.
Já?
Can I start?
Oi,
Acho
estão me
que sim.
ouvindo?
Pode
Ir.
começar.
Estamos ouvindo.
Então,
Yeah, you can
vamos lá.
start.
Pode começar.
Bom, o nosso desafio aqui que a gente tem
Okay,
é
our
resolver de uma
challenge
vez por todas ou tentar
is to
eliminar
once
aí
and
um
for
pouco
all
essa
try
redução de
to
desmatamento ilegal na Amazônia. Na verdade,
eliminate
no
or
mundo inteiro,
reduce
essa
illegal
solução vai
deforestation
ser
in the
global.
Amazon
Com
and
isso,
in the entire
com
world.
isso, a gente
It will have to be
né?
a global
Não é apenas
solution.
eu. Aí é eu,
Having said that,
Marcelino Macedo, Vitor Martins,
it's a group, Marcelino,
Selic.
Victor,
Eu nunca consigo pronunciar o
and
nome dela
Selic.
direito. Um grande desafio que a gente tem aí, a gente criou uma pequena
Our
solução para
challenge of the SDGs 12 and 15. So these two goals are met by our solution so that we can solve the problems posed. And the problems are, in our perspective, we understand that we had four solutions. We were able to capture these four problems and consolidate them into a single solution. We understood that we had to cross data from two indicators, and we had to create an intuitive interface so that we could access reports easily and also read data easily, data that will be sent to the technicians and inspectors that carry out the analyses. We understand that this is a tool that will not operate after, but rather during the extraction of data. We can also work on the data discrepancy indicators, and once we can crisscross information, we're also going to be able to solve that, and the reduction in the number of trips. So these things affect costs and other things. And how are we going to do? Our solution is to integrate hardware and software. We cannot create an effective solution based on just one single technology solution. So we created a piece of software and a piece of hardware so that we could integrate them and facilitate economy. With the integration of data, technicians no longer have to travel to the site. And that will be done very safely and securely because the hardware will confirm the data generated by the software. So our solution will provide for greater usability, where users by only 2 touches on the screen, they'll be able to integrate the entire database. In terms of hardware, we designed this map showing how it works. It's basically a sensor that detects audio. The audio is then fed by a solar panel that also feeds into a battery. And basically our hardware is an audio detector. It's able to detect sounds from the forest and at the same time to specific items, the axe and the saws. But it can also be trained by intelligence to detect other types of sound. But the chainsaw is very specific, so it can be easily implemented. That's then sent into an analytical database so that it can be sent back to users by means of a visual interface after the data has been integrated. This is a simulation of how the hardware would work. It takes the forest sounds and carries out an analysis and detects environmental sounds. If it detects anything different, it notifies that a possible deforestation or illegal tree cutting is occurring. So this is our idea. And this is I'm going to show you a short video to show you what the solution would look like. A technician would log in to the solution. And once they access the platform, they have access to specific data. This is a video recorded from the app. I can't give you the links right now because the Flutter Flow does not allow us to do that in the free version, which is what we use to create our first model. So we have the maps. And the hardware, when you integrate data, when you load data from Sinaflor, it automatically loads discrepancy information and shows them on a map. But since we have no hardware to confirm that, it will use current data. When it detects a red incident, it shows the UTM coordinates and the code of the coordinate, the registry authorization, if it's been issued or not. And once they see that there's actually been an inadequate incident, it can send a direct notification to the client. The client that has a license needs to at least enter a phone number so that we can notify them without having to go there, to go to the site. The inspector can also have an instant video call with them, and they can say, well, there has been no deforestation, but the video can show otherwise. That's why we decided to include this audiovisual tool to create a record of the activities. So this is our solution. Thank you for your time, and that's it. Thank you.
Dúvidas, perguntas, fiquem à vontade, caso ainda tenha tempo aí.
Muito obrigada.
Any questions, let me know.
Tem 3 minutos mais ou menos.
Thank you. We still have 3 more minutes for them to ask you questions.
Alguma dúvida, pessoal? Aí, Marcelo sempre com perguntas. Vai lá.
Parabéns aí, Marcelino, ao time. Legal.
Congratulations.
Primeira dúvida. Essa solução de vocês funciona?
The first question is, does your solution work with no internet coverage?
Não. Ela tem módulo offline, mas ela vai precisar ter conectividade.
It has an offline module, but you need an internet connection to send data. That's why we have a battery for the hardware, and it has a memory buffer till it's finally connected to the internet. So you need an internet connection for the hardware, and of course, for the software, you also need an internet connection. Ideally, all of this is going to be processed in the cloud, but yes, connectivity is a requirement, but we also thought about how to solve that, and this is connected to the license. Depending on the size of the area, they'd be required to acquire the necessary hardware. It's as if it's part of the package of their license. And at least an internet connection would be mandatory. For the hardware, it's made up of a very cheap technology, and it can be acquired by the state itself at very low cost. But the internet will continue to be a bottleneck for any technology when it comes to the forest. So they'll need connectivity at a certain point, but the data latency is very low. So we're working with that perspective, and initially they'll only operate with 2 identifiers, the identifiers for the axis and chainsaws, but it can be expanded if there is electricity in the region, for instance. But with electricity specifically, you can feed it more easily, and it can detect large vehicles such as tractors, trucks, etc. So we can train them through AI. But the processing will occur at the level of software. And with manual data or with existing data, you can also do the analysis, but it will not be as accurate as the analysis done by the hardware. Even though you have the analysis available in the database, you don't have the hardware to guarantee that that's happening.
Obrigado, parabéns.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Legal. Nós temos só alguns segundinhos. Não sei se alguém tem uma resposta, uma pergunta rápida. Senão
Just a few more seconds.
Uhum.
If you have any short question, can I ask another question? No more questions? Okay. Quick question. Well, first, congratulations on the project. You built a prototype for the app, but not necessarily for the hardware. I saw the initial design, but how would that work? Yeah, we created the prototype for the app and we built a scheme for the hardware. Okay. So my question is, the idea of this project is that the AI would run on this board, or would it only capture raw data and send it to the AI in the cloud? Second option. The sound is sent to the cloud, and that decreases the electricity requirements. So you need a reasonable connectivity so that we can send the sound of a chainsaw, for instance, and get back information from the cloud, right? Yes, but it will work by sending the information, and upon the return, it won't process anything because the data that's being sent is already identified and with the 90 to 95% accuracy of what equipment's being used, if it's a chainsaw, for instance. And can you identify that with the hardware? Yes. This is the Sensiel device. The AI intelligence is very good, and it can do that. Thank you.
Enquanto ele abre aí, deixa eu só pontuar aqui uma coisa que eu não pude falar. Mas, Flávio,
well, in the meantime, I just wanted to add something. Flavio, Guilherme, and Marcelo, there is an entire backend run in the background for developers. And this backend will do most of the information processing. The app itself is almost like a reader for inspectors, but most of the processing occurs in the backend. I didn't bring any visual indication of the backend because we focused on the app. Thank you.